This is the time to elect a youth president, isn't it?
Mnipigie kura kwa sababu kura kwa Betty ni kura kwa amani.
Naomba kura kwa Wakenya wote. I am committed to the Big Four agenda.
For those who survived the journey to the season finale of the first edition of Miss President, it was a tough and bone-breaking experience that opened many doors to success.
What is public policy?
Public policy are decisions made by the government for the public or the
So whose government? You said it's made by the government. Whose government? Whose government? Somebody else?
The administrators.
Somebody tell us, Emily, do you feel you are government?
In one way or another, because I participate in decision making by offering my opinions.
Okay.
Yes.
So you participate in decision making by offering your opinions. How do you offer your opinions? Anybody?
Our policy was on Kenya affordable housing. We designed a housing cover to ensure that Kenyans will buy the houses. We regulate the amount of rent that the landlords will impose on their tenants, because most of the times they hike their prices so that the tenants cannot afford. And our short-term goals as a group is that we need to have engagement with the public to know why they need these houses.
We are concentrating on the promotion, prevention, and treatment policy, and also the promotion of public and private initiatives. But there's a problem in the implementation of the universal health care and affordable health care. So what is the problem? In our group, we discussed that we have poor health facilities in the country, especially in areas like Isiolo, which has mobile population. We also have inadequate personnel and infrastructure in existing health facilities, especially in terms of the bed-patient ratio, and also capacity to deal with other diseases like cancer that require a lot of technology.
And when you say you're going to provide that opportunity for online business for young people, are there clearly lined out opportunities that are on standby and not being tapped by the youth as we speak?
The youth are everywhere in the country, right from Turkana all the way to Kwale. And these are places where access to internet is not the same, equally for all young people. Young people are young people and they're on the phones all the time. So why can't they use the chance that they're on the phone to make money?
Because they have to be able to understand what they need to do. They have to be able to tell us what they believe it takes to do what they propose as youth. And very, very importantly, I look at as an opportunity as a president to shift gears. I want to look at youth as an opportunity to create the future. And I'm going to take a bold move as president, and I want to devolve the functions of youth management to the counties. Because from experience, we lack money in the counties. We need money in the counties for youth.
What will you do as Miss President to ensure that this country, that by 2020 we'll have 52 million people is food secure?
It pains me that in this day and age in our country, we do have people dying because of hunger. The first thing I would do is to code off this country into 3 different sections. The first section would be the ASAL communities, because we tend to have knee-jerk reactions to the issues of hunger that these people have. Yet we do have people who've come up with something called hydroponic greenhouses, where you can actually plant foodstuff using the pumice stone. So what I'll do for the people in that area is to ensure that funds are allocated to have them have wells, to have them grow these foodstuffs through the hydroponic system, to have that in place. Secondly, for the people who call the food basket regions, is to have in place what is called the drone technology that helps them to reduce crop production prices so that they can grow more foodstuffs to this country. And the third final group is to the people who produce subsidiary types of food, to give them basic education that ensures they increase their production from what they currently have to a higher level.
Diamond, you lost control of your group too as a leader. You are not giving everybody an equal and fair hearing. And for that reason, we will have to let you go. Thank you. Zani, I need you to up your game, okay? You have another chance in the academy. The green team, Lena Kamau and Nadia Abdallah. Nadia Abdallah, you're very passionate about what you do. However, we also want you to broaden your mind. So we will allow you back into the house.
There's not much policies that support farming and agriculture, especially in rural areas. What is the plan?
Under our 2010 Constitution, we have different programs that we are working on. For example, we are trying to revamp NCPB.
National Employment Authority is being launched in May, and one of the focus areas is youth unemployment. How will your government ensure that this works? Because it's a policy issue, it's an implementation issue.
We need to really re-equip of the fact that they themselves should look to be employers of their own fellow young people.
What would be some of the opportunities for engagement that you would have with the office of Miss President?
If we positively engage our women by creating opportunities and giving them chances, right? What we're actually doing is not actually just empowering a woman. You are actually empowering the nation.
The current stalemate between the Council of Governors and the National Assembly, what would you advise these two groups?
We, as a national government, from the resources that we have, are basically just barely able to cover our recurrent expenditure. And it is not prudent to borrow, but most importantly, we have to acknowledge that we must live within our means.
We are willing to work with the government in building up on the Biashara Fund. So, Your Excellency, how can we partner?
We are more than happy to collaborate with all partners who have positive ideas that can be beneficial to our country, to our people.
Are you ready to know who Miss President is?
Well, the public has voted, and the contestant with the highest number of votes is Nerea.
Who went through this competition?
I think the world can see that women, we can lead, we can be mothers. I thank you all.
Season 2. Wapi makofi? Wapi makofi ya Miss President?
And now, Miss President reality show is back with season 2 in full glare on your screens.
There's a lot of heat, there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of back and forth. But what we need to all remember is that we are Kenyans. And if we lose the value in ourselves and who we are as Kenyans, Kenya will lose us. So if you're going into political, elected, nominated, whatever it is, uphold your values and please preach peace.
It's not easy to be a woman candidate. Just putting your name on the ballot and stepping forward, even in party primaries, is enormously challenging. Enormously challenging. We know it's difficult, but it's worth it. So for the women who are thinking about putting their name forward, whether it's for Miss President Season 2, applications are open soon, or for the elections, put your name forward. People will support you. Put together a team. And you know what? Even if you don't win, you're inspiring the next generation.
Beyond politics, sometimes when people look at this, perhaps because of the title, people think about it politically. We are not so much into the political space, as much as we really want people to appreciate that women can and should be given an opportunity to lead in any facet in life.
The search for brilliant ladies who are capable of taking up the mantle officially kicked off across 7 counties. Right from Eldoret, Kisumu, Isiolo, Nyeri, Nakuru, Nairobi, and finally Mombasa.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow compatriots,
wananchi, mabibi na mabwana, we are heroes in our own way. Sisi wote ni mashujaa. And what I'd like for us to do as a team, nataka every day when you wake up, go catch that train in Tindwa, go to that farm until let us build a sense of responsibility among ourselves. Let's be each and every person's hero. Tusipojisimamia, hakuna mtu atakuja kutusimamia outside there. Hakuna, I guarantee you.
How do we expect to be able to stand as a nation and for our voices to be heard if half of our population remains voiceless? Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to include women in our development progress, because without women, we will not really succeed. If half of our productive resources are wasted, we can really never achieve each and everything that we want to achieve as a country, be it within the context of Vision 2030, the context of Agenda 2063 of the African Union, and the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. So for us to move forward, it is important that women are included.
As the president, we are going to allocate budget to enable, in the case of water, to enable the county at that level to dig boreholes for the people, at least in every ward, that to ensure that there is borehole. And this is going to enable the people to have access to water for the people and also for their livestock. And with access of water, they are going to be able to grow plants and get food for themselves, and also, if possible, they be able to sell. And to handle the situation, the emergency situation, my government is going to put allocation and avail food, water immediately to the people, so as we can capture the emergencies that are arising through the Kenya Red Cross and the county government.
As you've seen in my government, during COVID-19, I've come up with clear strategies on how we can improve the employment of young people. Talk about Adira Digital. Have come up with this program so that I can ensure that young people really don't have to suffer on mental health, suffer from anxiety, because without unemployment, there are a lot of challenges that you can face. But then because you're a Shujaa and because I'm a Shujaa, we are here today to celebrate the young, exceptional women like Mary Mutula, who has done exceptionally well. She's working with young mothers to ensure that they develop skills, to ensure that our environment is well taken care of, to ensure that they have money in their pocket. And because when they have money in their pocket, that ensures that we have sustainable food and we don't have issues to do with peace building.
As we approach the general election on August 2022, let us maintain peace. Let us help each other. Let us not fight each other's neighbors.
I would ensure that we have government-sponsored or foreign-sponsored talent shows in schools, where we can have resources, where we do shows, and a lot of income and tax is going to come into the country. I would also raise the tax on stable businesses that are running this country, like maybe TVs, stations, and I will raise their tax by a minimal to ensure that the tax that we remove from the youth is being gotten from this other side. They are their fathers and they will have to incorporate their young ones.
As the president, I'll implement ways of giving the community or giving the farmers in my nation ways or equal measures to access water. That is through the sources that are around the nation, and thereafter them getting the enough water for farming, the farming process or the agribusiness will take part. Then whatever we're going to acquire for the season, we are going to keep it for good use in case for another season. That is another drought coming in, and yet our crops are not yet grown enough. Therefore, we will have good or equal or enough food for the seasons, and then the farming will still be continuing through the water provided.
Personally, I believe as the president, people are more loyal when they feel they are secure enough, when they feel they are secure to be citizens of Kenya. Let's take an example of Mombasa, for example. They didn't feel secure enough. That is why they decided to take a side and take a step from Kenya. And there was a time they said Mombasa see Kenya. And as a president, I wouldn't want that case to repeat itself again. So I would ensure that there's equal distribution of resources across various counties. And this applies from Nairobi County to Turkana County. Every county should receive at least equal distribution of resources. And the leaders in the various counties, I will hold them accountable. I will ensure that there's no corruption. I will ensure that the leaders are accountable and they have distributed the resources equally to the citizens of the counties that they represent. You can find, for example, in a certain county, they have resources. Yes, the national government has distributed resources to them. But the fact that the leaders, the top leaders there have taken up the resources, the people at the bottom are not getting the resources. And as a result, they suffer from food security, they suffer from all those things, they suffer from hunger. And at the end of the day, all the problems come together.
My style of leadership mostly involves looking for the root of the problem that is persisting right now. Because we have been told that the fighting is as a result of this lack of food, and pastoralists perhaps are fighting for pasture. So maybe I would send our officers of the, our policemen and the Kenya Army to go to that war-torn place, especially the red zones, so that we can have temporary, even if it is temporary, order, while at the same time to cover now the big problem, which is the drought. We will also do the relief food. We'll get aid as the country. We'll send aid. We can even have a public call out for well-wishers and donors who would like to donate something to those affected communities.
As the president, I want to announce that I am going to cut down the cost of fuel to 20% to enable every Kenyan to feel at ease with this matter of fuel crisis.
If I was the president of Kenya, I'll talk to the parliament to deliberate on a bill that can lower the tax on commodities, so that we can also improve in terms of how people can access food. And also in terms of employment, I'll include private sector so that we can partner with the private sector to offer more employment, because some people lost employment.
We have so much to be grateful for as a nation. We have so much to be proud of as a nation. We have so many individuals who have been able to sacrifice themselves.
Mashujas are not only men, they are not only women. We also have youths who are mashujas. We have people with disabilities who are mashujas. And as your president, I will ensure that in that same spirit, the kind of development and my agendas shall be all inclusive, so that we get all these mashujas from, despite the gender, despite the age, despite their status in the society. So we thank all the communities in Kenya, in Turkana, in every community, because we are all equal in the eyes of the law of Kenya and in the eyes of God.
The competition attracted 750 applicants, out of whom 320 were shortlisted. The sophisticated audition process will put the women's confidence, problem-solving capability, and motivation to the test as the judges seek to narrow down the list to 50.